Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to build this 1/400 scale terminal number 5 for your model airport. I hope you enjoy it.
Before we get started with the project, let's review some of the tools that we're going to need to complete this project. First of all, paper. You need to print all the different pieces for the specific project you're working on. You can use cardstock or you can use photo paper. You want something that is very heavy and thick. Cardstock works very nice, but I prefer using photo paper because the quality is better, the images are sharper and nicer. Uh, but again, you can use cardstock, it works pretty well. When you set up your printer, you want to set it up to the highest quality possible. And a lot of the printers, you go to preferences and then it shows you a bunch of, regular paper, photo paper, whatever. Always select photo paper, and then depending on the photo paper you're using, whether it's glossy or matte, then you set the printer accordingly. Also, if you're printing on cardstock, still use the photo paper setting. Photo paper in this case will be photo paper matte. On some of the buildings that you're gonna be building, if they have a lot of glass, what I do is I print that on glossy paper, but most of the stuff I use the matte because it's going to be like cement or brick or whatever, so you don't want that thing to be all nice and glossy. So make sure that whichever one you choose to use, set it to photo and the highest quality possible. Next, we have to cut the paper, all the different pieces. So for that, I usually use an X-Acto knife. Be careful. These things are very, very sharp. For certain projects also you need a pair of scissors to cut some corners and stuff. It's a lot easier to do it with scissors. And then to guide you in the cutting, a nice ruler. I again prefer metal rulers because you don't have the problem with the blade kind of going in there if it's plastic or something like that. So get your ruler and get your cutting utensils. When it comes to gluing the whole thing together, I like to use contact cement. These are two of the ones that I use. I use a lot of them. Again, if you don't want to use these, that's okay. Anything that works for you. And in certain occasions, I have been using lately a stick glue. So again, whatever works for you, try the different ways and see what works better for you. Also, I like to have around a marker. Sometimes you need to mark certain things or cover when you fold things. If it's black and then the fold is white, then you put the marker to cover that. And also, once in a while, you'll see me using a little bit of tape because if I'm putting something together and it's kind of small, the tape gives it a little bit more reinforcement. So anyways, this is basically what I use for doing these projects. Let's go ahead and get started. For Terminal 5, we're going to have two different type of modules. One is the main terminal module, which sits in the middle, and we'll be doing this one next. And then the what I call the regular module. On the regular module, you're going to have the one with the end over here, and then the regular one, which doesn't have this, will be a blank space like this. You're going to have to do 4 of the regular ones, 1 of the end, and 1 of the main terminal for this particular project. Before we get started, let me explain to you the way I have this set up. The way I like to do my cuts is to start from the outside to the inside, turn around, outside, inside, turn around, outside, inside, so on and so forth. There are two type of cuts. One is just your regular cut where you come in, you put plenty of pressure, you cut, and the blade goes through the page. The next one is what is called a score. A score is just very, very light. You just score the surface of the paper without going through it. You do that to do very nice sharp corners. Let me show you real quick. If I take this corner here, Very lightly. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure here. Very lightly, you just go right over it. So when you try to bend this, you see it bends very nice and very sharp. So that's a score. And then of course a cut, you do a lot of pressure and the thing comes off. Okay? So let's start with this guy. Every time you see something like a roof, there's going to be scoring all the way around it. So that's why you'll see here, this score goes across and across and across and across. So I'll kind of like to do my scores first. So if we're going from the outside to the inside, this one is a cut. So I line it up. I have these little marks here and here to help you line up. So you line up this one, and then you line up the one over here, and this would be a cut. So you cut that one. Now the next one is actually a score. I really couldn't put the stuff in there because it's hard to see, but here you see the little mark here and the mark here. I do my scores first. You don't have to, but it just makes it easy. And then now we're going to do across the page a score. Then after I do my score, I see that I have a cut here and a cut from here to here. So I can go ahead and do the cut until there, and then the cut from here all the way outside. There's really nothing else going on here, so I turn my page and I see that I have a cut here. Once again, I line these two guys up. I do a cut. The next one, you see the score here and here, so we line up here and here. Also, the score will have the dotted line instead of the solid line. So I do my score, and now we have a cut from here out and from here out. Okay. And there's really nothing. Oh, there's one other one here. This one is another score. And it's also a cut from here outside here to the outside. Okay, so nothing else there. Turn it around again. I see a cut here first. And then another score and cut. Again, I'm lining up here and lining up here. So I do my score and then a cut from here outside and from here until then. And I don't see anything else, so let's do this. So this one is a cut. So I cut that one. This one is a score and a cut. Score, and then we cut from here out and from here all the way there. And we have one more score. And we cut. And we cut. And that should be it. So the next thing I want to check, make sure that I got all my scores and everything. So what I do is I start folding. You see how nice it folds? It folds there, it folds there, 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 and there. So I did all my cuts. Okay. So let's put this thing together. What I do usually first is, in this case, we're going to have this guy coming in here. These two will come behind it and hold it in place. Same thing, these two would come in behind and hold it. And then these guys will go in to give it a little more strength here. So we can start with these first. Okay. So now what we need to do is flip these two in. Leave this one out. Flip these two in, because we're going to apply glue here, here, here. And now we put it together by bringing this guy in. What I like to do is I like to use my thumb and kind of hold it here at the corner to make sure that corner is nice. And also I push this guy with the corner until I hit this here and make sure that, you know, that corner is nice and sharp. Same thing here. Bring it in with my thumb until I hit the corner. Hit it with my thumb. And then I like to kind of go in and press all the different corners. Go all the way around. Make sure that everything is nice, and then maybe just do a little push here and a little push here to square it out. So basically that's it. Your module for Terminal 5 is done. We're going to go and work on the main terminal module next. For the main module on Terminal 5, we're going to follow the same procedure. Tied to inside, scores first. This one has a slanted roof. That's why some of these guys are at a little bit of an angle. So it gets a little tricky, but you know, we can do this. So again, from the outside to the inside. So I have a score. So I line here, and then I look for the other side here. And just do, again, very light. Now we move along, and I'm going to find a cut, two cuts, one from here to here, one from here to here. So I line up here and here. So the cut comes from here all the way out, and from here all the way in. And we don't cut in there. We keep moving, and there's a score line in here, and it's also a cut line. So we do the score for the middle, and then the cut from here to here, and from here over there. So first we do the score, and then we do the cut. And that's it for that. Turn it around. So the first thing I'm going to find is a score. Score here, score there. And then also a cut from here out. From there to there. We move along. Now this one is going to be a cut and an angle. So you're gonna get your guy here lined up, and then there is going to be another line on this side that you want to line up with. So it's going to be a nice cut in an angle. So from here all the way there. And the same thing, there's another one here. So I line up here and I look for the other side here and I make my cut. And then there is another score. Now this particular score doesn't go through the whole thing. It's just going to be from here to here. I couldn't really make it that obvious because I got a lot of stuff in here, so just do the score here. And that's that. So here we got another score here. And then we have a couple of cuts. Line here, cut, and cut. Then we have another score. This one we do go through the whole page. And then a cut from here, and then a cut up to there. And then that's that. Then we see a score here. With a cut and a cut. And there is this cut here. So I'm lining up down here and down here. And then this cut goes from here to here. And then there's another cut. Again, line up both sides. This one goes from here to the outside. Actually, it goes a little further in from here. Okay. So now I missed a cut here. Okay. Let me clean this up here. Okay. So now let's see if we made all of our scores correctly. That one folds. This one folds. This one folds. Okay, looks like we're in pretty good shape. So now for the assembly, we do these two guys first. Then we're going to bring this guy in here, and then this one comes in and over. So we start with these two flaps. Make sure they're really nice and flat. I like to go on the corners, make sure that they're all nice and flat. Then like we did before, we bring these two in. So we put glue here, and then here. So like we did before, we fold these. You see, I missed a score on this one. We fold these, we bring this one over. Use your thumb to get the corner. Use your thumb for the corner. And then fold this one in to lock everybody in place. Once again, I like to go inside and push on all the different corners. And make sure that everything is making really good contact. So once again, I kind of push in a little bit to square it out. And that's basically it. That is your main terminal. Like I mentioned to you, it has a little bit of a slant. So then you have the main terminal, and then on either side of the terminal, then you will have the other modules. You can either glue them in together, or you can put some kind of I don't know, clip or something here if you want to hold them in place. So now there is an option that you can do. You don't have to. It's up to you. I've done it on some of my other models. For this one, I like to kind of make it look a little nicer than the other ones. So you can go and get what foam board. You can find this on any craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, Walmart, whatever. I like to do it in black. There is a page that gives you the measurements for it, and also is a template that you can use for cutting this thing. What I did is I made a line about 1/4 inch on either side, and then what I would like to do is have the front kind of slat a little bit. That's why I did that. So what you would do is just maybe put some glue on this side. And then you look for the front. Here you go. This is the front of the building. That's the back. You line it up. As you can see, I like a little bit extra on the front, so that's why I put those lines to line this up. So just line it up, make sure it's all nice and square. And now you have, I don't know, a little nicer roof if you want to play with it. Like like I said, it's completely optional. You have the measurements in here if you want to cut that. Or maybe, you know, it doesn't have to be black or whatever. So anyways, that's your main module for Terminal 5.